Hey, what's up everyone? This is Kyle. So today I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I think meditation is all about, what the point of it is, what the purpose, how do you do it, all things discussing meditation. Granted, this is just open platform for me to discuss my thoughts on various topics, whether it's like consciousness, meditation. So it's just like video blogging. But yeah, what is meditation? What's the point? And essentially, I think it's all about awareness, consciousness, and being aware of what we are experiencing in our bodies, whether it's physical sensations, thoughts, emotions. So essentially, think of it as awareness is a box, and we all have awareness. If you're a conscious being, if you have consciousness, then you're aware of what's happening in your experience, your personal experience. So it is navigating the world, or just navigating your own thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, everything that you are feeling, being aware of it in a way that is non-judgmental, accepting whatever is coming into your frame of awareness and letting go of the control of what is happening, and more so just being non-judgmental and observing. Really, it's observing without judgment of whatever's happening. So to delve a little bit deeper into this topic, to be a little bit more specific, so when you're sitting down and meditating, you're going to be experiencing thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, different ideas that pop into your head. You're going to hear different noises, and essentially those are all objects contained within your awareness. So think of awareness as this box, which is consciousness, me being a conscious human being. So you have awareness, which is a box that's containing all of the objects within it, which is emotions, thoughts, physical sensations, sight, sounds, all your 5 different senses, ideas, all of that contained within the human experience. So this box, which is awareness, is just simply observing all of these objects within that box, that all these things that are happening throughout your body or throughout your brain, through your consciousness, and just non-judgmentally observing those things within. Not trying to change how you're feeling, not trying to be a certain way. It's about accepting whatever is currently present and just observing it. It's about letting go from your ego, which is trying to control your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, things of that nature, but instead zooming outside of your ego. It's basically like if awareness is that box and all the objects contained with it are your ego, it's getting out of your ego and becoming the box, which is containing all the things within it, including ego, but just being that box and observing everything inside of it, and just accepting everything that is happening within it as is, just observing nature on nature's terms. But yeah, that's essentially it. So when you're sitting down and you're meditating, it's all about just, okay, I'm feeling this certain thing, I'm having anxiety, I'm having panic, I'm feeling stressed from the day. And then slowly over time, as you just observe those different sensations, not trying to control it, not trying to get rid of anxieties or fears or depression or sad, whatever it is, but instead just observing it and letting it run throughout and letting it take its course. And then over time, as your negative, quote unquote, negative emotions slowly dissipate, then we at this baseline, what the yogis and the gurus say is that once those sensations run throughout and take its course, that humans at their core of their consciousness, the baseline is human goodness. So as you let those negative emotions run its course, then at its baseline, those positive human experiences of feeling happiness, compassion, empathy will start to re-enter back into your awareness, into consciousness. But you have to first allow nature to run its course. You have to first observe and let those negative emotions play throughout and just observe, not trying to change. Because the more we try to control those negative emotions and be like, stop thinking negatively, stop feeling a certain way, stop doing this, we're not letting that natural process to occur. But if you just let yourself sit and be with whatever is happening in your conscious awareness, then slowly over time you will become more aligned, more at peace basically with whatever's happening. You're starting to accept nature on nature's terms. And then slowly over time, you'll start to be filled with human goodness. Now, also at the same time, not having the expectation of that human goodness, but that's just like the natural progression of what will happen as you develop your meditation practice. So hopefully that cleared up some misconceptions, some confusing thought processes that like are contradicting one another. Like meditation, when you first start learning about it, it can be very confusing because it's abstract and it's hard to have like a practical understanding of it. So again, I think just framing it in that concept, that idea of like awareness is the box, everything contained within it is ego, emotions, thoughts, physical sensations. And the purpose of meditation is to become that box, become awareness. So you can stop identifying with all of those things inside the box, stop identifying with all those objects, and instead detach, dissociate yourself from your ego and to be with awareness, to eventually let those negative emotions run through its course so you can be more at peace, more accepting of whatever it is that's happening in your conscious awareness. And then the next phase, which you get a little bit deeper into it, into like this whole idea of like non-duality. So like all of the observation without any judgment, that's called mindfulness. All the stuff that I just talked about is called mindfulness. But then you transition from mindfulness as you develop your meditation practice to this idea called non-duality, which is basically trying to understand that everything contained in your awareness, all those objects that we were talking about, the physical sensations, ego, and negative emotions and stuff like that, those are all contained within awareness. And that you are in fact all of those objects as well as awareness itself, because awareness is that box. And you start to slowly that boundary between awareness and all those objects within start to dissipate, and you start to become more whole. You start to accept that like all these things within me is also awareness itself, and slowly over time you become more and more in tune with awareness. You become awareness itself, and then you realize that like this world that we're in, this reality that we're in, the boundary between ego, which is me personally, and everything else that I'm experiencing, you start to become one with it. Like the boundaries between me and everything happening, the boundaries dissipate and break down. Granted, this is like when you delve deeper into your meditation practice, but slowly over time that non-duality starts to develop, and you start to become more at peace, more accepting. Not peace in the sense of like just the positive emotions, but more so acceptance of all negative and positive, acceptance of everything that's happening within your human experience, becoming awareness itself. And then you become one, so to speak, like one with the universe kind of thing. And the whole feelings of like jealousy, envy, like rage, anger, like all those things are happening within you because you are like you are comparing yourself with someone else or yourself with an expectation. It's all this feeling of like scarcity, like I don't have enough, I'm not that person, I'm not having that like fortune that other people have. But slowly over time, as that new non-duality arises, you start to realize that, oh, I am just like one with everything. That my awareness is contained, like me, just the fact that I'm able to be aware of envy and rage, or like being aware of me being jealous of someone else, is like, that's all happening within my own experience, all happening within awareness itself. And then you start to realize that like, oh, it's not me and them, but instead it's us. So yeah, this gets a little complex. But to start with what meditation is all about, I think a good way to approach it is like focusing on the mindfulness and just observing without any judgment, trying to accept whatever is happening within your conscious awareness, and to be awareness by observing and not associating yourself with all the thoughts, emotions, ideas, physical sensations that are running through your body, but instead disassociating from it and viewing it as almost like a third person point of view, looking onto this object, which is yourself, and just seeing it for what it is and allowing nature to run its course. And hopefully over time, as that practice develops and you become more in tune with awareness, then you start to realize that, oh, that everything that's happening is not just me and that's happening, but instead we are connected in some way. And then that delves into the non-duality thing. But yeah, meditation, I think it's very important. I think it's something that takes a lot of practice. It's not something that you can hop into and be a pro at. Just like any skill, it takes a while to gain the experience, gain the understanding of what it's all about. But I hope this lecture or like thought process, me talking, is helpful to anyone new to meditation or like wanting to develop the practice a little bit more. I did go into a little bit more complex ideas and concepts with the non-duality thing, but as a start, as a beginner, I think focusing in on mindfulness and trying to observe in your meditation practice whatever is coursing through your body, thoughts, emotions, physical sensation, whatever it may be, observing that with non-judgment, and yeah, trying to be one with nature is the ultimate goal. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you all, and namaste.